Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. You join me driving back to my farm with a little load of bales. I don't think we're gonna have enough silage, hay, and straw to make us through the winter with our cows. So we went down to the store and we bought some. Just on our way back here now, driving through the nice countryside. Guess once we get back to the farm, we'll have to unload this trailer, and I think we have a field of sorghum to harvest as well. That's our only field to harvest today. I think the soybeans should be ready come tomorrow. Just look at that view. Wow, this place is beautiful. We're getting close to our farm, not too much further here now. Just came off a little bypass road back onto one of the major roads here. Our land backs onto the railroad, which can be a little loud when you're sleeping, but at least we don't get too many visitors. It's kind of nice. We like to stay kind of private. We're not the biggest operation around here. There is a couple of decent sized farms. They've got a lot more capability to hammering out the acres than we do. But we just do what we can, and if we can't do something, then we'll figure out a way around it, or we can hire someone to come in and tackle that job for us. That doesn't happen too often. We do have a very small fleet of equipment, but we also don't have that much land to work as of right now. We are thinking about expanding, and we have invested some money into some newer pieces of equipment over the last couple of years, but we are nowhere near to be the big farm as you think that we are. This is one of our fields over here to the left. Well, two of them. We've got our soybeans there, and we've got a sorghum field there as well. And this is our farm up here on the right. There we go. And just come around and we'll park right up in front of the shed. So welcome to our farm. You've already been acquainted with our Arion 650. This is the largest tractor we have on our farm. It's a pretty good size. I think it's around 180 horsepower or so, 185, something like that. It's got some wheel weights on it. It's pretty beefy. It's our high horsepower tractor for all our plowing and tillage type deal. We do have this nice little trailer, little flatbed trailer. It drops right to the ground to make it super easy for loading, which is awesome. Over here we got just a couple of tools for a front loader, bale spike, weight, all that good stuff. We do have a sprayer. One of the smaller ones, but it is fairly nice. Does the job. We got a tedder back in there too, a windrower, small planter, small seeder. This is something that we just invested a bunch of money in. It's a baler wrapper combo from Pottinger. It's one of the newest pieces of equipment that we have on our farm. It's the Impress 185 VC Pro. What that means, I don't know. All I know is that it was expensive. We also have a couple of fella mowers here, front and rear, that go on the back of the cloths. They work pretty good. Definitely not quite as big as what some people run, but we don't have that many grass fields. We have a nice plow over here. I think it's about 3.5 meter plow. Gets the job done. We got another weight. Got a manure fork here. Nice manure spreader. Got our manure pit and slurry pit. Got our nice old cow barn here. It's definitely seen better days. The paint's kind of faded, but it gets the job done. It really does. We cannot complain. I think we've got about 60 head of cattle. Yeah, we have 60 head of cattle. They definitely eat through the food pretty quick. They had a full trough yesterday morning. So we are going to have to keep topping those up almost every day. but that's just, it is what it is. We also don't have that much milk storage, so that's something that we also need to invest in, is we don't actually have a proper tanker for that. That's something we normally contract out, is we just say to the local distributor, hey, we've got a full load of milk for you. They send a truck up and take our milk away. We also have 25 sheep. They're sheep. We'll get some wool off of them eventually, but yeah. We are looking to make some pretty good money off the cattle here. That's why we have 60. I'm pretty sure this pen will hold 150? 145. It'll hold 145 head of cattle, so we can have a decent little rotation on taking out some of the older heads and selling them on. We've got our farmhouse up there, and we also have our lizard van up here as our main form of transportation. This is our personal van, which we can also use to haul wool around. We did go out and we got a pretty decent silo complex here. We've added a couple of grain bins here and there throughout the years just so we can hold a couple of different crops all at the same time. We're running currently a 4-bin setup here. We got our 2 large bins there and a couple of smaller ones. Does everything that we need. We only have the 1 tipper trailer here. Realistically, our combine's pretty small, so, and all our fields are real local, so carting back and forth isn't that really big of a deal. We don't really need that big of a trailer. Up here we've got our sheep pen. It's also fairly old, but at least the heat lamps work, which is nice, and our wool just gets put out over here. They back onto the rail yard, so we did get this nice fence wall, hedge wall, I guess you would say, put up to kind of block out some of the noise and to help keep our sheep in. We do also have the hedgerow across the road, so we don't have to worry about that. We did get an order of some herbicide, liquid, and solid fertilizer, some seeds, and some lime, so we do have some of the stockpile here on the farm, which is nice as well. Moving on into here, we got our beautiful little Massey. This is our loader tractor on the farm. It does pretty much everything that we need. We can use this to run the feed wagon or the straw blower, which is both right here actually. We've got a hand-me-down Russian feed mixer. It's not very big, but it was used when we bought it. It was cheap. But we did go out and buy a new straw blower. Why we bought a new straw blower, I don't know. It's not that we could technically actually just use this for straw. But if there's anything in it, then we can't blow straw into the pen. So that's what we have this little straw blower here for. We also have the Unitrack. When we were first starting out, we had one of the old models of these, and it was everything that we needed. So we decided to upgrade to one of the newer ones. To be fair, our farm has kind of outgrown it, but we still got the slurry spreader for it sitting out there in the yard. So we can put that to work for some things. That it does have a load of hay in it right now. 2,000 liters for hay for the sheep, so we've got a little bit of hay there. We've got a fertilizer spreader in here as well, and some baler twine, or some net wrap, sorry. And we've got our Dominator here, our Maxi Dominator. It does everything we need it to do. We haven't really used it too often. We bought it last year. I think we put 1 or 2 fields through it. So it worked great last year, and we're expecting it to work great again this year. So I guess we might as well actually feed the cows. They do need some food, so we'll hop up here in the little Massey. We'll go and get our weight and our bucket, or not our bucket, our pallet fork, bale, spear, put on the front end of this thing. Well, the weight goes on the back, spear goes on the front. You know what I mean, right? I'm sure you do. We are running manual attach, so we got to get out and hook everything up. I've been playing with that recently for most of my games, and I've come to enjoy it. It sucks when setting up. It really does. But other than that, it's not too bad. Oh, we also have a cultivator there. I think that's about a 5-meter cultivator. Does the job. Gets the fields turned around at an okay rate. We're small. If it takes a little while, it takes a little while. There's not too much we can really do about that. We'll hop into here into the rigid track. This thing does have all-wheel steering, which is nice. Definitely comes in handy, especially for moving around in the barn here. We'll go and get the top straw bale off for right now, and we'll just move that along to the other side. We should really stack these up somewhere. We don't have that much room for storage. So we normally end up having to buy most of this in just because we can't store our own. We don't really have the shed space for it. There's nothing worse than blocking in your seeder planter with a bunch of straw and hay and stuff. Not being able to get to your planter when you need it. But we will just put it right there for right now just because we know we're going to be using it. I should probably move this class over just a little bit to give myself a little bit more room to maneuver around here. And we'll drop that down while we're at it. As long as it doesn't freak out those bales at the back, not too bad. That ideal? Not really, but it worked, so I'm not going to complain. I'll just take this other straw bale right off the top and put it over with the other one. Not sure exactly where we're going to be putting these guys for right now, but that's not a problem for right now. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Alright, let's go and get this wrap off. Can we get this wrap off? We'll just poke into it and we'll get it off before we put it into the mixer. If I do this correctly, I should be able to get both that hay bale and the silage bale on at the same time. Just like that, I think. We got enough counterweight on this thing. We do. We do. It's not the biggest tractor. It's definitely not as heavy duty as what we could have. But at the same time, it's cheap and it's affordable. And we don't really have a massive use for a big tractor on this farm, at least for right now. Times can change. But for right now, it's everything that we need. And we'll go and grab this one straw bale over here. And we'll just pad it out a little bit. I don't want to put the whole bale in. I just want to pad out the mix a little bit. I don't have an actual scale on the side of this mixer to let me know how full we are getting to stay with a good ratio, but we'll just go by feel. I think that should be alright there. So we just ended up putting the class on it here to unload it into the barn. Our grass is growing pretty good. We might be able to get another cutting off of that before the year's out. I wouldn't really be holding my breath though. I think this is about 10,000 liters going in. They could probably use with another load today, which we probably will just because we have everything on the trailer already. But I'm going to do that off of camera, and I will see you guys when it's time to break out the harvester. So, we've got the class all hooked up to the trailer there, ready to go. Time to get the Dominator out of the barn, get it all fired up, and out to the field. We've already got the header all connected already. We've gone over it already, so everything should be in working order here. It is a very tight squeeze through that door. I think we're going to start storing the header outside. So we got to do a little bit of off-roading here with the class, just because the header doesn't actually fit through our gate. I think what's Something else that we need to invest in is a header trailer to make it easier to transport. Because we've got a couple of other fields right on the other side of this little trail here, but we also have the two on the other side of this main road. So crossing over this main road with the wider header can sometimes be a little sketchy. These pathways are normally pretty easy going, but it's always a challenge. So I think we are definitely going to need to get a header trailer, probably over the winter. So we got the combine here. Let's get her fired up, and we'll start taking off the first headland. We don't normally grow sorghum. It was just kind of, they had a deal on the seed when it was time to plant. So we just decided, you know what, we'll try it. I'm not sure if we're going to really be doing it again. It is kind of late to harvest. To get this field turned around and put some wheat or barley in it is kind of pushing it. Same with the soybeans. I don't really think we'll be doing much beans or sorghum. You might do beans. Beans are a pretty hot commodity around here. Not too many people do beans. So it always sells for a pretty good price. But just there isn't really a market for sorghum around here. So it's kind of is what it is. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, kind of thing. Get some lights on here. It's still 8 o'clock in the morning. Not super bright out yet. None of our fields really take that long to get anything done in them, just because they are so small. But our equipment also matches that, so even though it's a small job, it still takes us a little bit longer, just because we're not running the biggest, newest machinery. Well, I think I'm going to keep plugging away, working on this headland here. Oh, I kind of turned a little bit too late on that turn, but nothing we can't fix in the next pass. I'm going to keep plugging away here. Once the combine gets full, we'll have to run back across the street and grab the tractor and trailer and dump a load into there. So we're almost full here. I am just trying to make it back up closer to the top of the field. You know, don't have to go far, but if I can reduce the miles traveled in any given piece of equipment, I'm doing all right. Less fuel, less wear and tear, you know, all that good stuff. It looks like we are barely gonna make it up to the top here. Not quite. We'll put our pipe out. It's getting a little bit lighter in the day, so I think we can turn our lights off too. And I'm gonna run over and get in the tractor. Alright, back over here into the tractor. Got our beacon light on, and we might as well put our four-ways on too, since we do have to drive down this main road here, and there's sometimes some pretty big trucks that just come flying through our little edge of town here. This is a beautiful area. I know when I first arrived here, I just was blown away by the amount of stuff going on in this town. It's it's really amazing. There can be quite a few car accidents though if you're not careful. Um, I haven't seen any flooding yet, but I do know there was quite a few potential hotspots for traffic accidents. I'm not sure if they need to put in a set of traffic lights or roundabouts, but there's quite a few accidents out and about on these roadways. If you know what I mean, wink wink, nudge nudge. I think we should be able to fit 2 combine loads into this trailer, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess we can hop back out of the combine once we finish overloading and see if we're at 50% or over in the trailer. It looks like we could fit another full load into there, I would think. Yes, we can. 2 and a bit combine loads into that trailer. Not too bad at all. So once we come around this corner here, we don't have a very good turning radius, so the corners kind of get a little messed up. But we should be able to start on some decent runs here. Just up and down, you know, standard farming stuff. Just back and forth, back and forth. Be a little mundane sometimes, but that's what we all enjoy. That's why we're here, right? Well, here we are, just wrapping up this field. It's gone pretty good. Hasn't taken very long. I think our trailer's almost full. I wasn't sure if I was full or not. I just unloaded since the HUD was off, and I couldn't tell the exact number. But I think we are pretty full in the trailer, and we're gonna have just over another 2,000 liters left here in the combine, which all in all isn't too bad. I can't complain considering I didn't really expect anything out of this field this year, being that it was just some extra seed that the dealership had lying around. The dealership has extra seed that they don't want, and they're selling at a discount. It's normally for a pretty good reason, so any return is a good return, I feel like. But we can see if we can shove any more into this trailer here. I'm not holding my breath. A little bit more will fit. I don't think, yeah, no, we still got just over 1,500 liters left here in the combine. But hey, I can't complain with more yield. So we're just gonna come over here. we're going to leave the combine out in the field here because we'll be harvesting our soybeans tomorrow. They should be ready come tomorrow. We'll turn that off. They're looking pretty good. Not too bad. I think this field is pretty well fully fertilized for the most part. So that's not bad. It's not the best yield, but it's better than nothing. I don't think it was never rolled. It was never mulched. We don't actually own a roller or a mulcher, so we've got the basics to get crops in the ground, but we haven't really gone too advanced into it. We primarily focus on our livestock. This is another one of our grass fields here. We only have the 2 grass fields, but I'm thinking of making one of these fields over on the other side of the trail over here, another grass field. It really depends if we can maintain getting a good yield or how many cuts we can actually get off in a year. And we can always take it back and put it back to being an arable plot of land. But I think probably in the next episode, as long as the soybeans don't take overly long to harvest, we might put some grass in the ground over there. We've got 2 fallow fields, I'm pretty sure, over there. Just calling for some grass seed to be placed down into them. So we may not do that. I haven't really made up my mind yet when it comes to that, but anything is possible. Enough spot there. 18,500 liters. So we got 20,000 liters off that field of sorghum. That's not bad. I cannot complain there at all. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. That's the video, but this is what's it called? For your information? No. Oh, but you know when you finish off a letter? Oh, PS. Yeah, PS. So this is PS. Maybe it's PPS. No, because I did a first thing. Anywho, I've been trying to start different series here on Farming Simulator 22 for the last month. And it's always, I find a map that I like, and I set it all up the way I want. And when I set a map up, it's I want to play the first harvest that you start on a map and do that winter and get the fields into a state to where I want to start my playthrough, because you'll get fields like this and fields like that, and it's just, I don't know, starting off like this, it's never super great, especially if they're already ready to harvest. You jump in and you're not getting a good yield, and if you want to start off with not that much money, it's okay, well, how am I going to harvest this, not get a good yield, and then, you know, roll that into next year. Don't get me wrong, I know I like watching people be on the struggle bus, but it's also got to be enjoyable to play for myself personally. You guys watching, you'd be like, yeah, struggle, yeah, I want to see you have a hard time, it's amusing, and I get that because I'm that type of guy. But it's still got to be somewhat fun for me to play. So I set up a Frankenmouth map, that American map with a really non-American name. I set everything up there, I got it all set up the way I wanted it, and then by the time I got all that said and done, I didn't want to play on it anymore. So then I went and did that again with another map. Elm Creek, Elk Mountain. Oh, I built a full custom farm on there. And I got everything all set up and looked all hunky-dory. I recorded the first episode, and I started recording the second episode, and I was like, no, this is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I envisioned it. So I just called it, and I said, no, not even gonna edit it, not even gonna upload it. And then I would like to start. I've got another one that's pretty well done that I would like to start. It's a full organic farm. that's my challenge, is use manure and slurry, and it's on that one nice European map where everything's, not everything, but the hedges are all removable and the telephone poles are all removable. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's a beautiful map. I've set up my own custom farm in there. Well, not fully custom, but I've edited a fair bit, set up my own little things, and that's my challenge for that map, is to only use manure and slurry and digestate. I don't even think I'll do digestate because that's a byproduct, that's not organic. Anything like that, and no mineral feed in the total mix rations and that kind of stuff, no herbicide. So I do want to start that one off. If that seems to be of interest to you, if anyone's still watching this video, please let me know down below in the comments. Give me some ambition to actually create that, because this map I just got on here today. Oh, you're gonna let me cross. Thank you, red car, how sweet of you. I started this map today, and I built this little custom farm, and I planted the grass, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start it. I'm just gonna start it. It's not gonna be perfect, but I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. And we'll just see where it goes. So hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully it's not too off the cusp for you. With that said, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Hoodles!